my phone's still going. It's Lorayne Love, joined by the incomparable Ollie Drennan.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you, Lorayne. I was stuck with Mark yesterday doing Drag Race 13. Oh, not fun.
You know, Lorayne needed a break, so I was like, you know what, Mark, I need you today. I need you to get in there and take one for the team. So Mark was there for you yesterday. Thank you to everybody who's joining us. Welcome to Drag Race TV LA, the new home of your AfterBuzz TV hosts here on YouTube. We will be recapping the final 3 episodes of Drag Race UK Season 2 because we know you guys loved it. I wish we would have been able to do every episode, Ollie. I like looking back, I'm like, even you and I, we should have just been like, let's just do it on our own on Monday. Or you know what I mean? Like pick a day and let's just do one, the 2 of us.
I know. I don't think, I'll speak for myself. I didn't think I was going to like it as much. But I did. I fell in love with it. I was like, I'm going to watch it eventually. And it took a while for me to watch it. And I did. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to talk about this. And unfortunately, I dropped the ball on that one.
Well, you know what's so funny is I was watching a YouTube video or something online, and somebody was saying how they were worried about season 2 because season 1 was so good. They were like, there's no way they're going to be able to top season 1. And boy, were we wrong.
Right.
And I will even say too, watching the Meet the Queens, because I always watch the Meet the Queens, I was kind of like, I was worried because I was like, no one really Lauren stood out to me in the Meet the Queens. Bimini stood out to me in the Meet the Queens. And that was about it. Everybody else, I was just kind of like, we'll see. And here we are, the season complete with a new winner. Let me just say this at the top. We will be discussing the winner of Drag Race UK Season 2. So if you have not seen the finale, this is not the place for you to be. And if you missed our recap of episodes 1 through 7, I do have it linked in the description of this video. So if you want to watch that one first and then come back and watch this one later, we don't care how you watch us. We just like that you watch us.
Just watch us and subscribe and like and comment.
Speaking of subscribers, funny you should bring that up, Ollie. We have officially reached 300 subscribers. Bow, 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 bow. To quote Tez. I don't do it, was it? But yes, we've reached our 300. And you know who our 300th subscriber was? My old roommate.
Oh. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we are actually over it now. We're 304, 305 now. So you guys made me very, very happy. Thank you all for your love and your subscribing and all that stuff. If you don't want to miss anything that we do, because sometimes we do come up with these brainstorm ideas to do outside of our normal stuff, click the notification bell so that you can get notified when we are doing something. Follow DRTV LA, our initials, on all social media, because we're always posting exciting things that we're doing, things that are coming up, what each other are doing. You know, Ollie does some other podcasts, so does Tez and Jayla and Jackie. So keep an eye on those if you ever want to know what's going on. Now let me flip over here to my notes, just make sure I got everything. I talked about spoilers. I will be making an announcement later. If you didn't see yesterday's Drag Race Season 13 news and gossip, or if you haven't been watching our social media, I will be making another big announcement at the end of this about who will be joining us next week on Drag Race TV on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. So Ollie, I guess let's just say, not just the last 3 episodes, but let's just say overall, thoughts on the season.
Gosh, I don't even know where to start. I just was really blown away. I can't remember a actual season of Drag Race where I just thought from start to finish, it was so entertaining from the first episode, from, you know, the second, the third, the fourth, the finale. And obviously we had that week break of the quarantine episode. Like, I just feel like we went through this journey, you know, these queens, we started with queens that before I can't even talk right now. COVID-19 before it hit. And then we past that, where these queens and also ourselves have gone through like these dark times and these low lows during, you know, quarantine. Speaking for myself. So I really feel like we connected with them. We saw their each and every single one of their stories. They literally had a story. Everyone had a story, a background, an origin, a character. I'm not saying they're characters. I mean, they are they're great characters, but they're human as well with those characters. And each have a different drag style. It was such an amazing season. Miles better, in my opinion, than the first season. First season came, saw, conquered, but these queens, these 12 queens, nailed it. They just nailed it. Oh, look at
that. I turned off my messenger on my computer, but for some reason, even though it's off, it still likes to give me notifications.
Hey,
it drives me batty.
At least that sound effect was just perfect. They nailed it. Ding.
Yeah,
but yeah,
right?
It was just so good.
I'll try to time them perfectly throughout this podcast because I'm probably going to get more dings. A quick little shout out. Chucky Chuck is in the chat. Ken. Amber Ibans. C. O'Connor is here. Thank you guys for coming and joining us live. We love you. And thank you for the compliments on my look. I appreciate it. I've been dying to wear this hair. So thank you for the kind words. This is my kick ass and take names kind of look. So watch out. She's ready today.
She'll punch you with that
I need
ring.
this for, right? I need this for season 13, not for UK. Okay, let me just go over quickly how I'm basically going to do like highlights of the season. We'll go through the mini challenges, the maxi challenges, the runways, and then the crowning. And then again, we'll do news and gossip. And I have some quotes of the season. I have some fans of the week and stuff too, and some news and gossip at the end. So that's kind of how we'll do it. Instead of going episode to episode, it's kind of going to be like, kind of like we did last time. And by kind of, I mean exactly. So where we ended was episode 7. Sister won the reading challenge, and then Sister went home. And then Ahura won the lockdown Super Shiro challenge. That's where we ended the last recap. That was the last episode. I do have some old business, some things I'm not sure if we discussed last time or things that I thought of since the last podcast that I just wanted to touch on, Ollie, if you do not mind. One of the things that was said in, I think it was that last episode, was that Ellie was coasting through the season. Sister mentions it after Tia's elimination. In your opinion, did you think that Ellie was coasting through the season? And write in the comments if you guys think she was coasting. I'm curious.
I mean, it's not a diss on her drag by any means. I enjoy Ellie. I enjoyed her. She's kind of like, I just think in comparison to the rest of the queens, the caliber, the level of talent with like, you know, Lawrence and Bimini, like she kind of was coasting. Not saying that she was doing bad. She just wasn't living up to the other queens and winning a damn challenge. And like, you can't, I'm going to say this now. You cannot win Drag Race without a challenge win. I just don't think that's possible. Prove me wrong. Season 14, prove me wrong. But it's nothing against Ellie. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think so.
I would be curious to know who's won with the least amount of wins. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I think there's probably, one. I would think like Evie won a challenge, I think. Only one challenge.
And I think Jinx didn't win a lot of challenges either.
Like I don't want to like diss Ellie by any means, but like obviously like by the end of it, skipping ahead a little bit, I was like, oh, I kind of wish Ahura replaced Ellie in the top 4. But what were your thoughts on Ellie?
I mean, when she said it, I mean, I did kind of think she did kind of. I mean, here's the thing: is like coasting to me just means you're good. It doesn't mean you're not standing out and you're not the worst of everybody. So it's not a bad thing per se. I just think the queen, you just don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that you're coasting. You want to be getting critiqued. You want to be the one that they're praising every week and stuff, obviously. Again, not a diss on her, but whatever.
Right.
Let me see what they're saying in the chat.
Oh, Ken said Sasha didn't win a challenge unless she was with Shay.
That's right. I do remember.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
Wow. But she was also never in the bottom. She was in the top a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I keep playing with my glasses, you guys. My lash keeps hitting my glasses, and then I should just take it off. Let's see. Yeah. Ellie is good for her age, but I don't think she was top 4. She definitely coasted through the entire season. She was safe every week. Yeah. Yeah, I think we all kind of agree. Again, you know, Lauren says it in the Final 4. Regardless of everything that's gone on, I'm glad you're here. And again, I'm glad they was there. You know, because last year they only had a Final 3. So it was nice to have a Final 4 and see where it goes.
And I absolutely think like Ellie has tremendous makeup. If she didn't win a challenge, her makeup is beautiful. I think her makeup is one of the best of the season, personally. But yeah, despite that, you know, despite that, like I was happy for Ellie at least to be in the top 4, given that opportunity. Obviously, I was like, she's not gonna win this, but it's like, hey, that gives her more time to promote herself. Do that. They did like a photo shoot to promote it. Like that's cool. That's great for her, you know?
Yeah, totally. This was something that I can't believe I forgot to ask last time. I'm gonna need everybody's help on this. Maybe you know, Ollie. Going all the way back to the Rats musical, Tia comes out and she takes that thing off and she has an ear on her back. Why does she have an ear on her back?
Oh, because I think that was just to show that she was like experimented on, you know, like rats being like test rats, test mice, and like, oh, they've been tested on. There's an ear or some growth growing on. That's my brain. My sci-fi nerd, my theory.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I just couldn't think of what it was, and I kept thinking, oh, I need to ask. I because they all seemed to like go crazy when it got revealed. So I was like, is there something in cats that has to do with an ear that I'm missing, or blah blah blah? Let me see if that's what they're saying. Rats are used for experiments. Okay, that's what they're saying.
PSA, let's not test on animals anymore.
Right? Exactly. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Another thing, and I don't think this was in the final 3 episodes. I think this was a little bit before. Lawrence comes in to the workroom one morning and she says, I miss Veronica. And it's kind of silent. Nobody said anything. And that kind of surprised me because I really liked Veronica. I thought Veronica would have been in the Final 4 personally.
Right.
She really had like the drive to win. Were you shocked by that?
By people not really saying anything about Lawrence mentioning her? I think a little bit, because obviously she didn't get to return. So, you know, your condolences, I don't want to say, is that the right word? Like your heart goes out to her, and like her obviously coming out positive. So like, I don't know if they were still a little butthurt about how Veronica, like, because I remember Veronica, they had like a little like heated exchange for the last episode before they went into the break. So maybe they were still butthurt. I don't know. I guess that totally flew over my head before you said anything, but I agree. I miss Veronica. I'm happy she'll probably more than likely be on the next season. But I definitely think that because Veronica didn't return, it drastically like affected like the outcome, because I too think Veronica probably would have been in the top 4, you know. Like who knows if Bimini would have done as great as she would have if Veronica was there, because Veronica was a competitor. Everyone needed to watch their back for sure.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I just was curious because we didn't talk about it, and it kind of, when I was rewatching, Oh, that's right. They didn't really say anything. One last thing before we get into it. I found this. I sent this to Ollie and the co-host the other day when I found it. I just thought it was really interesting. We always wondered where they come up with their drag names. And I think we all are curious how Bimini Bon Boulash came up with her name. But I did find, this is from her, there's actually a very logical reason for the name. Bimini was the name she was going to be given if she was born the opposite sex. So Bimini. And Bonnie Boulash was her mom's first cat. And then I just love alteration. So Bimini Bon Boulash. So, fun fact, use it as you will. That's all that was. I wanted to share with everybody because I was curious and I thought it was exciting. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start by saying, and you know I love saying this, I was right. When we closed the last recap for this, Ollie, I asked who you thought would be in the bottom for the comedy challenge. And right at the last minute, what if they do A'Whora and Tayce? And you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of that. I just wanted to point it out. That's really all this moment is me getting to say, I guessed it. All right, moving on.
Yes, because we won't have many more of those in the future. No, I'm kidding.
No. How? Where's my... There it is. I was like, I don't need the shade button. We're not going to get shady on these bitches, but I guess I need it because you'll get shady with me.
Just a little shade.
A little wee bit from mother to daughter, or daughter to mother. Also, sorry, I'm going to switch back to my in the feed. Okay. I think it's safe to say Tayce is officially the lip sync assassin of Drag Race UK. And if there's an All Stars and they do it like they do ours, Tayce should be, it should just be Tayce. It should be every person who wins has to go against Tayce for any lip sync for their life. I think that's how it should be. Right, and so because she won 4 lip syncs for her life and remained in the competition. The only other queen to do that was from Drag Race Holland. I don't know who's watched it. I won't say in case you guys want to watch it. There was another queen on Drag Race Holland that also lip synced 4 times. I will go out on a limb and say the Holland queen is nowhere near as good as Tayce, but I'll just leave it at that and let you all watch it.
Cameron did that too. She had the 4 times, I believe. Who? Cameron Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Including the finale. I think that included the finale. She lip synced 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tayce is the first for UK.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was before the finale, I think, right?
Yeah. Good God. I think you're saying Cameron Michaels did 5 times.
Jesus. Oh, that's right. Damn.
Yeah.
She was exhausted after that. She needed a break.
Yeah. They're agreeing also that Veronica was in it to win it. Somebody also says, Veronica, that's right, Veronica didn't take crap. She stood up for Tia and everything. So yeah, I guess there may be some animosity towards her and that. All right, another little tidbit I think that I thought was interesting in these last 3 episodes. We'll talk about the mini challenge in a minute, but I just thought it was interesting when they did the rocker mini challenge. Ellie seemed to really be into A'Whora and her look. Did you catch that?
The rocker. Oh, the mini challenge. I did not catch that.
She sees A'Whora on the other side of the room. She goes, I gotta say, A'Whora looks kind of hot right now. Shut up. There's Dirty Diamond. Dirty Diamond came out.
Well, I hope she likes threesomes with A'Whora and Tayce because Tayce and A'Whora, they're still like, I kind of ship those 2 still.
Well, that they're not. They're just friends now. That was a long time ago, but we'll see. Friends with benefits, maybe. You never know. And nothing wrong with that. Okay. Speaking of Ellie, I think I'm not going to say one of, I would say the biggest drama of the final 3 episodes, which I thought was kind of funny that we're doing these 3 together, because I think the overarching theme for all of them was Ellie's choosing the lineup for the comedy show.
Yeah.
It never went away. So basically, Ellie won the mini challenge that week and got to set the lineup for the comedy challenge. And she played it strategically. And she was like, if I'm going to win this, the only way I'm going to win this is to really kind of mess everybody up, basically. Which is probably true. Like, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. So she did the lineup. She did A'Whora. She wanted to follow A'Whora because she knew going first, A'Whora wouldn't do good. Plus, she didn't think A'Whora would do well anyway. So it would benefit her to be after A'Whora, which I do think it did benefit her to be after A'Whora. I really do think it did. Then Bimini, then Lawrence, then she had Tez close it out. So she stuck the really good comics in the middle and did them after her. Lawrence was and A'Whora were livid. What did you think of all that, Ollie?
Yeah. So it was Lawrence and oh my God, I can't even talk right. A'Whora. So I'm not mad I can't blame Ellie for what she did. Like she was playing the game. I don't know why they were so threatened, Please don't, obviously I was so disgusted with the fans sending hate towards A'Whora and Lawrence with how they reacted. Like it's a TV show. Come on, this is entertaining. But of course, I'm like, I was just really surprised because Ellie hasn't won anything. Let's be real. Ellie's not a threat at this point, top 5. And now I can understand maybe A'Whora being upset because A'Whora, she is someone who, she's shown that she can be funny, but she has to work a little bit harder, I think, to get the comedy chops to live up to like a Lawrence Chaney or Bimini's comedy. Those two, and also like, I was here for what Tez said. It tastes like you just got to step it up. You got to just do the challenge. It doesn't matter where she said something along the lines. I don't remember her exact quote, but I like that Tez was she didn't stand up for Ellie, but she was in agreement with Ellie and her decision to place everyone where they were for this episode. Yeah. And I was like, Lawrence, you're going to kill this. This is your challenge. But A'Whora, you need material, work on material. Don't let it get the best of you. And obviously it did. But I will say with this episode, it was interesting how everyone kind of like, Ru was just laughing at everyone, like, did you not notice that? Like, I was surprised no one had crickets. So I thought that was very interesting that I think Ru just loves being like around these queens and just like thinks that they're all freaking funny. And they all have their moments for sure. They're all so lovable, but it was funny how like there was no one that completely bombed.
Yeah.
Which made it a very interesting judging, I'll say, for that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody here, let's see, they're saying they didn't see it as a setup. They thought that she was playing the game, which I agree. Like you said, Ru even says, Ru and Michelle even had a conversation with her on the finale, saying, no, you played the game, it's so ridiculous. Like I, as much as I don't like the created drama, you still got to play the game.
Right.
So do what you need to do, boo. I mean, it gave us a lot of drama. I do also think that is kind of what hurt Lawrence when all was said and done from the fans, because I feel like the fans were kind of over her complaining about it all the time. So I think that's kind of why the love for Lawrence kind of shifted to Bimini, because she kept dwelling on it and stuff and kept talking about it. Mm-hmm. And I think people were just kind of over it. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's Ronnie Jr. Thank you, Ronnie.
Ronnie. Is he in the chat? He has to watch season 2.
Yeah, I know. Why are you watching?
Watch
you have
it.
to watch season 2, Ronnie. But we thank you for being here. I shouldn't say that. We thank you for being here. I just thought, that was because that was such an overlying drama, thing. I mean, Ahura at one point couldn't even look at Ellie after that challenge in the workroom. Like, she was that livid. And then the next morning they were both like, I slept on it and I thought I would get better and it didn't, and blah, blah, blah. So I just thought that was probably the biggest drama of the last episodes.
Right. And I even said, last thing I'll say is that I love Ahura. I loved her and I wanted her to be in the top, but obviously she didn't. She was sent home, but I can't knock Ellie, not even Rue and Michelle, like you said. And if she didn't take advantage of the moment, who knows? Ellie might have went home, she might have went home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and if she stayed, then Rue and Michelle would have been like, you didn't play the game, Ellie, So it would have she was damned if she did, damned if she didn't.
Yeah, totally. Other thing, for the final 3 season, there was actually only one guest judge besides the normal panel, which was Dawn French, who was there for the Comedy Challenge, who I adore. Dawn French. For me, that was probably one of the most exciting guest judges, in my opinion, in all of Drag Race, because she is so absolutely brilliant and hysterical. I absolutely love her. So she was the only one on that Comedy Challenge. A little fun fact, I don't know if you saw this, Ollie, but on the Beastenders episode, they had McKay, who was the mannequin in the challenge, as the guest judge. Did you hear why this happened?
Yes.
Okay. It was because Rita Ora was supposed to be the guest judge, and she backed out at the last minute, so they replaced her with the man.
That's disappointing.
Very disappointing that she did that.
That's and I on its side note, she's been kind of been not canceled, but she's been called out for kind of partying during COVID, and I think she had a birthday. So I'm like, God damn it, Rita Ora, you don't back out of Drag Race. You want the call from Drag Race to be a judge, are you kidding me? Oh my God. I'm not even a huge Rita Ora fan, but I'm familiar with her. She's hosted a show she did America's Next Top Model for a season. She has some good music. But yeah, I was like, girl.
Yeah.
I was anyway.
Really, girl? You didn't.
But but let's be real. Mickey was a much better guest host than she would have ever done.
Right?
Shame button.
I will say this. I'm just going to put this out there in case somebody from World of Wonder is watching this right now. Lorayne Love is always available to fill in at the last. You fly this bitch out to London, and I will. Could I be worse than a mannequin? No, don't answer that, Ollie. Don't answer that.
Well, you'll be on season 14, so.
Yeah. Well, I won't be on because I didn't submit. But maybe. Ronnie says hello. He just stopped in to say hi and wishes us luck and keep up the good work. Was Rita, I don't know, somebody in the chat room, Chucky Chuck, is saying, wasn't Rita on American version of Drag Race?
I don't remember. She might have been.
I don't remember either. So yeah. The other thing we didn't talk about last time, because she did it in these last 3 episodes once, and it also happened in one of the first 7 episodes, is Rue has been wearing boy wigs when she's coming into the workroom. And we never talked about it, did we, last time?
I don't think we did.
I just thought it's interesting. I don't know why and what's going on, but I for it. I love it.
I like the yellow one because everyone is saying it's Ginny Lemon.
Yeah, Lauren said glam up. It was Ginny Lemon glam up, and I lost it. I thought it was hysterical. Another thing about this overall season, not just his last 3 episodes, I thought there were some great lip syncs for your life. And I don't know if that was because of Tayce, because she was in so many.
Right.
But let me see, I wrote down, Tia and Lawrence was great, even though Tia ended up going home. Tayce and Ahura was good. Tayce and Ellie was good. There were just so many that I thought were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because they're fighting harder. What do you think?
Did you have a favorite? I agree. I think It's definitely, they want to stay, and I agree. Like probably Taste, and it's so funny. Like I'm a huge fan of Taste, but it's almost like, damn Taste. As I was watching this, I kind of want you to be in the bottom just so we can see you lip sync, like I was like, that sounds terrible, but we all knew that she was going to kill it otherwise.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, did you have a favorite lip sync this season?
I was trying to think of that. I would say, I really like, and I don't know if it's just because I loved the two of them. I loved Tia and Lawrence. So I really liked that lip sync because I wouldn't have minded the double stay for that episode too, because I really love Tia. And I hope we do not see the end of Tia Coffee because I just love her. She's up there with me with like all-time fave.
That was my pick.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that song. And you were rooting for both of them. And that was the first time Lawrence was in the bottom. So this was Lawrence's time to shine. But also you have like, I know there's not a miscongeniality, but I think Tia would have been miscongeniality for this season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I said this always for US season 2 is one of the things I liked so much about it is that every time there was a lip sync, I didn't want anyone to go home. I always wanted it to be a double save. So thank you for this. And I think that, as much as they like to play up these bad people and stuff like that, like, I hope that they're paying attention to how much better the show is when everybody's doing their best. Like, wouldn't you want every episode to be like, I don't want her to go home. I love the challenge. Everybody did good. Like, I would love to get tired of saying that. Instead of like season 13, I'm like, just send them all home and give Simone the crown already. Like, I'm done. Like, I don't care anymore, I hope that they're learning from this. I really, truly hope that they're learning.
Mm-hmm. It's almost as if like UK, they're like not focusing. They just have a really good time. They do a really good job of humanizing everyone. Like they don't focus on the edit in terms of like, this is this character, this is the villain, this is like who we're gonna do the underdog role. I mean, they do, but they don't like shove it down our throats, I feel like, when I watch it, because everyone's redeemable. Everyone is just has their faults, has their flaws, and that's okay. But yet they can still they still have something special. And I think that's what's really, I think UK season 2 has so much heart behind it. Whereas 13, we're a little bit like, I'm still enjoying it. Not as much as UK season 2 though.
Yeah. Chucky Chuck does not like ruin the boy wigs. Sorry, Chucky Chuck. I'll try and get a message over to them and let them know that you don't approve. Now, this is something that I always have an issue with. This happened in the finale when the queens came back, and they were discussing Ginny walking off. And her response was that she did it because she's an icon. Let me and you can save this part of the video, share it with your friends, send it out on Instagram, whatever you need to do. Lorayne Love's message to anyone. If you call yourself an icon, are you really? Like, Madonna's not walking around calling herself an icon. Cher's not walking around calling herself an icon. Like, it really gets under my skin when I see the queens say this, like describe in their descriptors and stuff like that, like icon from Drag Race. I'm like, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And as much as I like Ginny, it really kind of soured me to her. Did you think anything of it, or you didn't?
No pun intended. It made you sour from Miss Ginny.
Yes.
I think it's just like Ginny's just being Ginny. I didn't take it too personally to heart, because it's like we kind of got her story of like she's not loving herself. So I think when she has to say something like that, it's kind of like she doesn't really mean it. Because like right. how can you call yourself, give you that huge compliment? And I'm a fan of Ginny as well. So I think she's had such amazing moments, like hilarious moments this season. But sometimes we like shield off our insecurities with like these big, powerful worlds. Like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm an icon. I'm a legend. I'm making history of never being eliminated by Ru. You know, and yet we have to like, it's like our shield, I guess. And really, we don't really mean that. We just want people to not bring us down, I suppose. You know, it's fabricated.
Yeah. Okay, I just had to get it off my chest. You know me. Sometimes I just need to say the word and then I'm better and my anxiety goes away.
Keep it 100, Lorayne. Keep it 100.
So a new thing that happened this season on the final episode was all the queens got what Ru called QBEs, which were Queen of British Eleganza. I'm guessing they were brooches. They looked like brooches. And it had Ru's picture in the center, and it was this big elaborate brooch, which actually, you know, because the Ru Peter badge has become such a iconic thing for Drag Race UK, I actually thought it was a nice gesture so that kind of like everybody gets a badge, you know? Mm-hmm. Did you notice? Did you like that?
No, I didn't notice it, but it's cute. Yay. It's like a participation award. Like, yay.
Yeah, kind of like a participation award, I guess. Yeah, I know. I guess I don't know. That's good. I liked it. I just thought it was a cute little touch. Money and stuff. So my thing is, well, maybe they can sell it on eBay and make some money off of it. And then also too, and I linked it in the description of this as well. If you guys haven't seen the reaction video of the finale, I did link it into the descriptor here. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but the link is in there if you didn't get to see like Lawrence and everybody's reactions to the announcement. So that was all kind of like little tidbit things that I just didn't know where to put. So I just kind of stuck them in the beginning. So now let's go through the mini challenges. I think there were only 2, yes. So one we kind of mentioned earlier was the masculine for masculine singer challenge, which was kind of a play off of the Masked Singer, but it was masculine. And they all had to dress up as like real masculine men and not lip sync. They actually had to sing to, why am I drawing a blank on the song now?
It wasn't a Ru song, right? I don't remember it.
It was a Ru song. Oh my God, guys in the chat room, I need your help. What was the song that they had to sing in the Mask for Mask challenge? I know someone will put it in there. I feel like I know it and it's just not popping into my head. Do you remember it? Like, can you say who your favorite was from watching it, Allie?
Whoever forgot the words, because I thought that was so relatable. Like,
I think it was Lawrence. Who forgot the words.
Someone like, not
Kitty Girl. Thank you.
Kitty. It was. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow, it's funny how you just say it and it comes back to you. It comes flooding back to you. Come on, it's hard to memorize all those damn lyrics in a Ru song. It's really hard. And I just thought it was really funny because it's a comedy challenge too at that. Like, come on.
Bow and Arrow is in the chat and she says hello.
Bowen.
I really liked the challenge. I said this on the season 13 when we were recapping. They did a similar mini challenge the exact same week, which I thought was really funny. And I really like this one. I actually really liked everybody. I was like, how is she gonna pick? I thought Ahura was hysterical when she was like, this one's for my woman who's out in the audience or something like that when he started. And then later he's like, I do not know who Lady Gaga is. I almost peed myself. I thought Tez was so over the top, hysterical. I loved it. I just couldn't stop. I kept watching it and rewatching it. I thought it was hysterical. And then that was the mini challenge that Ellie won that gave her the opportunity to do the comedy lineup.
Mm-hmm. I also think that was like a little bit of production giving it to her the win to make the decision like that. But like, she did the decision as we already talked about.
Yeah. Only one I thought I thought actually Bimini was probably the worst, but she did say preparing she makes a comment like, I don't do butch. Like, this is not me. So she kind of already let us know in advance, like, don't expect much.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't do butch either. I don't do butch either.
I guess it's pretty safe to say that I don't really do it either. So. Well, this is probably as butch as Lorayne gets. Let's just say that, if that tells you anything.
This is you going on lesbian night. Your show's on lesbian night at the bar.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the only other mini challenge was the Puppet Bitch Fest, where they had to draw the puppets, which, do you like that challenge, Ollie? Is that like one of your favorites, or are you kind of like, whatever?
I love the fact that, like, I almost don't want them to make over the puppets when they're boy puppets. They're so spot on and cute. Even Taste had like this little jacket that she wears in the confessionals. And I'm like, I want you guys to keep them the way they are because they're so adorable. But it is funny how them being super shady and putting them in drag. So I can't be mad.
Yeah.
But it's always a fun challenge.
I'll just go through. I wrote down Ellie got Taste. Lawrence got Ellie, Bimini got Lawrence, and Taste got Bimini. If you didn't remember who picked who. I think Bimini deserved the win. I love saying, like, I don't know. They were all really good. And like, they were all good sports. You know what I mean? Like, and Ellie thought kind of I'm getting a message here. Can you hear?
You're like coming in and out.
Okay. I have a message saying internet was not good. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was just saying that I thought that they all did really good again.
Can Ru stop ruining the Wi-Fi, please? RuPaul, we're trying to do a show. Gosh darn it. We're trying to give you more publicity, Ru. Stop interfering.
Exactly. So those were the mini challenges. Then let's move to the maxi challenge. So we'll talk about the comedy night now. Dawn French was the judge. I'll let you guys know this because we won't get bleeped on here. I did look up to see what it was that Ahura said. Did you see this?
Yes. Okay.
So Ahura gets bleeped. What the word that got bleeped was gaping assholes. And I guess it's probably rightfully. I think obviously in a comedy club it really wouldn't matter. As a comic, and I've gone to many comedy shows and stuff like that. I always say to pick and choose when you're going to use the bad language, because if you're using it the whole time, it kind of takes the sting out of it. So I guess one of the biggest questions for this, do you think Ellie should have been in the bottom? Do you think it was fair that she was safe, or do you think she should have been in the bottom?
Well, I think Ellie should have been sent home this week because I didn't think she was that funny. I think her devil voice got really tiresome. It wasn't funny to begin with. And then, but of course we had to have Lorayne, why did you have to be right? Gosh darn it, Taste and Ahura. But also I wanted to see that. I was like, as like the dramatics of television, I'm like, ooh, I do want to see the friends be in the bottom. But this is the episode that I think Ellie should have been in the bottom, unfortunately. And I was like hoping, please, Ellie, if you're going to like do your little the placement of everyone, be funny, like kill it. And she didn't. So I was really disappointed that she wasn't funny and didn't really rise and have like funny material. It just wasn't funny to me.
Amber in the chat agrees she should have been the bottom. She didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one about that challenge. Yeah, here's what I'll say about taste. Michelle, when she critiques her, Michelle says, you weren't bad. You know what I mean? Like, she actually says that. Here's what I'll say again, as a comic, as somebody who's gone to many, 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 many comedy shows. Taste's comic timing was spot on. Whether the jokes landed or not, or whether it was funny is a whole nother thing. But there's a rhythm to comedy. And you can see that Taste knew that rhythm. So I personally would have given her credit for that.
Yeah.
I thought her beans on toast thing was hysterical. There was some really funny stuff that she said. I agree. I think it should have been Ellie and Ahura in the bottom.
Right. And then we still could have had a Ahura stay and then have eventually our Ahura Taste lip sync. Come on.
And could have kept the final four,
Yeah. But of course, I think it was.
We could have gotten the Taste Ahura lip sync, for the final four, save them both.
Yes.
And it would have been even more dramatic, I think, if it was Ahura.
This is why we need to be producers for UK.
We need to brush up our resumes. The other, not a joke, it's a fact. Genius. Agree with Dawn French. She could literally do a whole set of not a joke, just a fact.
Was that
Bimini?
That was Bimini. Bimini was really good too. I loved her joke. I forget what it was exactly. But she's like, it should be like straight people, illegal. I would die. I was like, oh my God, she's just so funny. And I just love how she will just say things. She's not trying too hard. Bimini is just naturally funny. So I really enjoyed her set as well.
Yeah, she was great. Let me see my notes here. Sorry.
And Lawrence won this challenge, right?
No. This is what I was going to say. Is I really thought Lawrence should have won this challenge. So, because everybody was saying that, Bimini had 4, I would argue that Lawrence deserved the win on this challenge. And my next comment that I have written down is about Dawn French. Either you have comedy in you or you don't. It's one of, that's why you don't really see a lot of these dramatic actors doing comedy, because it is so difficult, and either you got it or you don't. And I just think Lawrence, yes, maybe she rambled on a little bit, but I thought she should have won.
I don't know why. I was hard. I was pleased with either one winning, but I don't know why. I totally thought she did win that challenge.
Yeah. I thought the same thing too. The way they were kind of playing Lawrence, it made it look like that they were gonna make her because it was funny because when they were doing the rehearsals and everything, and the way that they played her stand-up set gave me the impression that the show wanted us to think that Lawrence wasn't doing well. So when the judges critiqued her and were praising her, I was surprised. I was actually genuinely surprised because I went, oh, they did like her. So I do think that Lawrence did get a little bit of a bad edit for some of this, because I think that she did really well. Also, the next Maxi Challenge, which I'll lead into right now, Beastenders. I thought she did the best in Beastenders as well. Again, it was the comic timing. It was just how she controls the scene. She's just such a powerful and amazing character. I don't know. I thought, what did you think of? So let's talk about Beastenders.
For Beastenders, I'll disagree with you, because I think Bimini, because she was she carried it to me, just because she was in basically the entire thing. She was the main character. I definitely think she carried it. I think she deserved it. Maybe Lawrence should have won the comedy night, but I totally thought this was Bimini's challenge for sure. And this also the runway, which we'll talk about later. This was a for sure Bimini win. And I also thought Tayce did really well. And it was so funny. They really played it up of like, oh, Tayce, Michelle, I thought you were going to do horrible this week, but I was pleasantly surprised that Tayce, maybe not the best, but it was another different side to Tayce. Almost like not a different side of Tayce, but it was like that Tayce, the funny Tayce that we get in the confessionals was kind of like, which is the true, that's who she is. It was nice to see her like kind of take a stab at comedy and not do horrible. No one did horrible this week. Everyone did pretty well. Obviously some stronger than others, but I was really happy that Tayce was able to incorporate more of herself into this challenge. Because I love the fierce, like fashion runway dancing Tayce that we know and love, but I also think that she's really funny. And it's nice to see her coming out more with her humor. I really,
like I said, with 13, I said when Tamisha and Lala were gone, like the confessionals were just not exciting anymore. That's why I think one of the great things about UK is so many of them. Tia gave great confessionals. Lawrence gives great confessionals. Tayce gives great confessionals. Bimini gives great confessionals. Like there are so many good people, like good quality. They know, like, I don't know. Also, I want you guys who are watching us live, I'm curious to know what you guys think. If you thought Lawrence should have won the comedy challenge instead of Bimini, and if you thought Bimini or Lawrence should have won the Beastenders challenge. I'm just curious if those of you that are watching, what you think as well. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about Beastenders, which again, and I've said this before, and even season 13, I'm seeing it more, which again, I hope that they're doing is instead of throwing everybody to the bus and helping them make mistakes, helping them do better. And I really felt like watching Michelle help Lawrence in Beastenders was amazing. Like I feel like she's just like, okay, wait, let's stop. You know what you're doing. Like this, say this after me. Like, let's get this right. Let's really learn this. Let's calm down. Let's da-da-da-da. Do you get it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you see this, what I'm talking about all the time?
Yes. I think Michelle is so much nicer in the UK seasons because this is my theory, Michelle.
Okay.
Michelle Visage, she's like, the UK knows me. I'm famous here. I'm on Dance Strictly. I gotta be like on it for the public people. Season 13 US, she's like ruthless. But that's just me being super shady. But yes, it's definitely noticed. It was nice that she was able to be there for Lawrence. And also there's only 4 of them. So I always get really excited when they get narrowed down because there's more time to spend with the queens and more time to, I don't know, give more input and constructive criticism.
Yeah. So we're getting mixed from people. Miss Bow and Arrow says she thought Bimini deserved both, but that doesn't surprise me.
Yes, Bimini.
That's not a comment on you, Bo, but whatever. Amber thinks Lawrence should have won the comedy challenge, but Bimini beat the Beastenders. Chucky Chuck thought Bimini was good in the comedy and thought Lawrence, despite the edit, should have won Beastenders. So everybody's kind of got a different theory. I'm just curious. I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to go back and change the results, but I just thought it was good. I will say this, as good as I thought Tayce was in Beastenders, I really do feel like she dropped the ball. Like she got to say much better. Girl, if I ever get a chance to be on RuPaul's Drag Race and utter the words, much better, you better believe I'm going to nail that. And she really didn't nail it. Like she did not do it like Baga did it. And I also didn't think she did total slag or total drag like Vinegar did. Vinegar, like when she came in, she's like, I'm not just a slag, I'm a total slag. But when Tayce did it, I really thought that those were really missed opportunities for Tayce. I feel like she got some really amazing lines. I also think I don't know if we have any UK people watching, but I saw we have somebody from Australia, which I think is amazing. And yes, we're going to really try to, even if it's just me and Ollie, we're going to do Down Under. So I'm just going to say that now. I'm speaking for Ollie. I don't know that I asked you that, but.
Well, I do go down a lot. So I'm down. I'm down. We're talking about Australia Drag Race. Okay, sorry. Yes.
That's okay. That's okay. A little sidetrack. That's okay. We all need it. This is why I drink, Ollie. Where's my straw? I wish I knew more about the show EastEnders. Like, I wish I had watched it and I knew more about it, because I think I really would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah. Because there's so much in this show that, like, I don't get because of the culture shock. Clearly. Yeah, I agree. At least we have like amazing queens with huge personalities to make up for it, for the references that we don't get, you know.
Okay. I think Lawrence has been funniest person throughout the season, just not that challenge. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, so that was those were the two maxi. Well, then I guess the other maxi challenge was the finale, which was a little bit of love. They all had to get choreography from Jay Revell again. They had to compose a verse for Ru's song, A Little Bit of Love, learn choreography and all that stuff. I'm going to preface this by saying, when I watched it on my TV in here, my living room, it sounded horrible.
I'm so glad you said that, because
but I was in bed. Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Yeah.
But I have the Wow Presents app on my phone too. So sometimes I will watch stuff on my phone in bed. And I started rewatching it on my phone. And I will say this, and I don't know if it's because of the speakers, it sounded 10 times better on my phone.
Oh, interesting.
So if you have, like, try listening to it like on a different, maybe on a computer or a tablet or something with different speakers. I think it was just the way that but I'm glad that you had the same thing. I was like, is it just me? Sound really bad. You thought the same.
Yeah, because I usually will watch it on my laptop because I have it. I'm already logged in. It's super easy. And I was like listening to the performance, and I never had an issue with any sound, any of like the other lip syncs up until that. Like, it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, where's the budget? Like, what is wrong? Like, is there just a technical difficulty? Like, it was just strange. And then like, some of them looked off, not saying that the queens were off with lip syncing, but like the way, I don't know, it was just like weird. It was really weird. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that just felt that way with the sound issue.
I'm curious.
There's definitely a sound issue, I feel like.
Oh, Amber says that she had the same problem. Okay, good. So we're not alone. Okay, good. That's great. Now again, I'm always going to love these moments. But again, I loved watching the rehearsal and watching Ellie and Tez and Bimini really encourage Lawrence and be like, look, you know what you're doing. Like, what would you do on stage? And it was just, was that not a great moment? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, during rehearsal?
Yeah.
Right? Rehearsal?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't shady. It was like they were all there, had each other's backs. I feel like at this point, they all wanted each other to do good, you know? Especially, it's just nice having that support. Even then, we'll talk about later, when the queen that does win, everyone's still supporting each other. And that's what you should do, you know? And you shouldn't be bitter. There's no reason to be bitter. You're on Drag Race. You're on Drag Race. You've already won.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Yeah. That's my opinion.
I agree. I think if this was a challenge that was judged and given a congratulations, you're the winner of this challenge, in my opinion, Tez was the winner of the challenge.
Oh, of the final performance?
Yeah.
Absolutely. She had the best choreography. She killed the choreography. She had the best lyrics. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so disappointed. I don't know if it was this tech issues. Like sometimes I couldn't even hear what they were like, what the lyrics were for some of the queens. And like Bimini's my girl, but I just wasn't a fan of her performance in that challenge. A little bit of love. I don't know. What did you think about Bimini? I was like,
I thought
go ahead.
I thought she looked sloppy. I thought it just looked kind of messy. I will say this too, as well as I think Taste did. And, I think one of the judges commented on Lawrence's performance. Like, were you the best? Were you, dancing up a storm? No. But did I enjoy every moment of your performance? Yes. And that's what I always say. I don't necessarily need to have backflips and death drops and all this stuff. I just want to be entertained. And Lawrence just has this magnetic personality that you just love watching her, regardless if she's messing up or not. So I think she deserved a lot of credit. I think that helped her put her over the edge. I really do. For that part of the challenge. And then the other thing about it I loved was the returning queens coming back on.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was my favorite part. Especially, I think honestly, the only lyrics that I really liked, like Taste going last, like no one can really live up to that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But then like you had the queens come back and like, I love that. I know it might be difficult in certain seasons, like all seasons of Drag Race, to get all the queens back to have like, to be at the finale or at least for UK, especially during a panorama. But it was so much fun, and everyone has one more episode to come in and show their final looks and do the choreography. You saw Tia, she was the first one you saw, and then you saw Veronica. And like, I loved how she just stood out. She had like little red, I don't know if you saw the post, she had like red gems, like she wanted to stand out. And I'm like, yes, bitch, come down that runway, bitch. We didn't forget about you, bitch. Obviously, she's like COVID free at this point. It was such a good moment. It gave me Avengers Endgame tease. And then you had, I died looking at Ginny in the back when she was just like doing the choreography. Oh my God. And then, oh my God, Ahura looked breathtaking on that performance. I was like, bitch, oh my God, they all looked amazing. I'm sorry.
No, it was great. It was my favorite part of the whole thing. So some things in the chat room I just want to read. So I guess the total slag line was originally from EastEnders. So it's not, I see here, I thought it was something Vinegar did on her own. So that's obviously from EastEnders. So, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that.
I didn't know that either.
UK version showed you what's missing from the US version. Agree. Amber agrees with me 100% that Taste did kill it. Giving the previous eliminated queens their final look moment is so special. I know, and we're gonna get to that too. Everybody's runway looks. I got goosebumps when I saw Veronica, because it felt it was a feel good moment. Agreed, Chucky Chuck. That was agreed 100%. And yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. So those were all the challenges. So now let's get into the final 3 runways. The first one was, okay. Now, on the show, it was called Stoned on the Runway. My first thought was, I can't believe nobody came out like a stoner in my shows. However, I was watching social media. That is not what they were told when they created their costumes. They were told it was to be like dripping in diamonds or something like that. So they were kind of given a different description of the same. They kind of changed the name of it when they taped it. So
interesting.
Yeah, just fun fact. Do you remember everybody's look? I can kind of go through if you don't remember. I wrote little, if you look at the outline, I kind of wrote little descriptors of everybody so you could kind of remember what everyone was wearing. I loved Ahora's. She had the IV drip bag and the RuPaul hair. Loved hers. Absolutely loved hers. This was the runway of the comedy night. So after the comedy special, they came out and did this runway. I loved hers. Bimini's acne. Come on, iconic. Lawrence's pink, kind of B movie alien, which I thought it was like, I think Michelle said it. Thank you for giving me something different, something unexpected, you know? Anybody that you liked or stood out for you?
I think this had to be like probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite runway. I love pretty much everyone you said. Yeah. Those were my top looks, like Ahura. But like for me, Lawrence and Ellie, or not Ellie, sorry, Ellie. Lawrence and Bimini, like Jesus Christ. Like it was almost like, damn, are they gonna have a double win? Now I'm just like, okay, I want everyone to freaking win. But yeah, I agree. I was nice seeing a different silhouette for Lawrence, because Lawrence has kind of been just like, you know, the long gown kind of look silhouette that we've been getting this entire season up until now. And it's just fun. It's pink. She did the little Trekkie alien. And then Bimini is just like, when you think Bimini is like peaked, Bimini is like, oh no, I'm just getting started. The acne
completely
turn something quote unquote ugly into something beautiful. Like Jesus Christ.
I keep thinking Bimini and All Stars is going to be off the hook. Like, she's already confident and great and artistic, but now she's going to have more money to really elevate everything. It's just going to be off the hook. Here's a little fun fact. Thank you, Peter McNulty, in the chat. The line about total slag was actually a line by the character called Cat Slater that Bimini played in Beastenders. So he was surprised that her character didn't actually get that line, that it was the other
taste
line. So thank you for sharing that here. Watching Lawrence explaining the look on her own YouTube channel. Holy damn, putting the thing together is perfect. Oh, I'll have to look for that. So I guess it looks like Lawrence did a video on her channel about how she put her look together. I want to watch those if she did it. Yeah, I agree. I thought those were the top that week. I think we agreed on all of that. Now, I'm assuming, like everybody else, I had to Google Panto Dame. Did you know what Panto Dame was, Ollie?
Of course not. I had no freaking clue. As usual, my oblivious, uneducated self.
Well, I didn't know either. Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I didn't know what it was, but then when I Googled it, I went, oh, I just didn't know that that's what it was called. So, so they had to do Panto Dames. If you don't know what Panto Dames are, it's like a type of theater performance that's big in England. Look it up because you'll see exactly. Basically, I think Bimini was probably the most spot on to kind of what all the images that I saw of Panto Dame. But in my opinion, Lawrence's was the best for Drag Race because I felt like she did Panto Dame, but she kept it Lawrence and she kept it drag. She didn't just try to recreate a Panto character. And again, love taste, but I didn't see any fairies when I Googled Panto Dame. So.
I mean, yeah, Lawrence had a freaking sewing machine on her head. But I felt like Panto Dame was also kind of like, isn't it also like doing like little plays also for like kids? Like, or something like that. At least that's when
I think so.
So like, I didn't mind Taste coming out as the fairy godmother. Like okay, maybe that's not good for like kids, but the kids watch Drag Race. But like, she made like that fairy godmother, incorporated also Taste into it. So I wasn't too like bashing Taste. I'm like, oh no, that's not Panto Dame. So I didn't really mind Taste's. I thought it was nice. She had the little wings. Was it as good as Lawrence's and Bimini's? Yeah. No, but it's freaking Taste, and we're so excited to see her lip sync in this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree. Taste was not Panto Dame, is what they're saying in the chat room. Yeah, and I agree. Rue probably had to Google it too. I'm just going to point something out really quick that I just noticed as we were talking about a lot of the last couple challenges and things. A particular name has not really been coming out of our mouth very much, and that is Ellie Diamond. Again, kind of going back to my earlier, like, was she coasting? I mean, I think the fact that we keep not bringing up her performances and her runways, that, again, I don't think any of us think that she's bad. I think that it's just not gag worthy, I guess.
Oh, I thought the name you were talking about was Mark, not Ellie. Okay. I got nervous. I just don't want to be involved in the drama. Don't put me in between it.
Okay. I won't. All right. So then the last runway is the finale runway. Okay. Well, let's just start with the final four. Ollie, you go. Tell me who's what you liked, what you didn't like. Final four.
For the final four. Okay. Oh my god.
Ellie's had kind of the bridal look. Ellie had
Bimini. For a final, that was I'm happy she had, like, to me, she had the best look. Performance, unfortunately, didn't. But for her to come out in that, like, to me, that was Bimini. It was drag. It was everything she, like, represents. It was extravagant, exactly everything you need to wear and put on for the finale. And I thought Bimini just was so breathtaking. Yeah. Everyone else's was good. But after, like, kind of like going after Bimini, like, she is the one that, like, stood out to me, for at least in terms of looks. Ellie's was giant. Ellie had, like, this giant pink, like, I was like, damn, and she's tall. Like, I wonder how much space she takes up. But everyone looked great. And Lawrence, I love that Lawrence has, like, this purple, like, the purple rain, literally. I think Lawrence's color is purple. It's freaking beautiful. I wish it was almost, like, bigger. I don't know. I wanted a little something. I get it. It was like drag race, right? It was like a drag race theme, literally on Drag Race.
Yep.
I guess I just wanted a little bit more from Lawrence. Not saying it was bad at all. And then Tayce, I guess I was just a little disappointed with Tayce's. I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone
looked good, but I think Bimini just was the one that really stood out to me and just looked like a final look. Ellie too. Yeah. But yeah, my favorite was Bimini, clearly, obviously.
I liked, I think somebody says it to Tayce on the runway. You feel amazing, don't you? You look beautiful. You feel beautiful, don't you? She's like, I feel absolutely gorgeous. To me, again, I always say it has to start with you feeling gorgeous. So it may not be my cup of tea. It may not be the best on the runway, but if it's your best and the best you've ever felt, kudos to you. Who am I to say otherwise, So I'll say that about Tayce. The thing about Lawrence's that I liked that she did, and I'm actually surprised more queens don't do this. I actually liked that she connected it to the show. The other thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, it reminded me a lot of her promo look. So yeah. I felt like it was kind of taking me full circle with her. So I appreciated that. I felt like that was thought out. And I will say this, I didn't realize purple was her signature color, which I think is very, very interesting. That I think it's kudos to her, because if it is her signature color, and the fact that she never really talked about it on the season, I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, for example, somebody who has red, orange, and yellow as their color palette and talk about it all the time and come out in it every week. Like, could you imagine if she came out in purple every runway? We'd be so over it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciated, like, okay, great. That's your signature color. It doesn't need, and that just proves you don't need to wear it on the runway every time. Wear it when you're on tour. Wear it to every meet and greet. But it doesn't need to be on every week of Drag Race. I did like Bimini's. I liked from like the waist up. I thought the bottom half was kind of predictable, and I didn't like the shoe. But I know she wears different shoes than I would ever wear. Like, let's just get that out there. Me and Bimini are never going to be fighting over the same shoe in a store. We just are very different looks. There was some stuff in here I wanted to read because there was some interesting stuff that was coming through. Hold on, let me scroll here real quick. They're saying Taste was not, capital not, Panto name. The Vivian, I guess, ripped Taste apart for her look. I don't know if that was on social media, or if that was on like a recap or something, but
interesting. I know that that just reminded me that Taste and Vinegar got into it or something like that. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I think Vinegar was just like, for some reason, like, there's still love, but they just, I don't know why they got into it, but they did. I think Vinegar was saying stuff about Taste, and Taste was responded. And
okay, yeah. I'll have to do some research.
If anyone in the chat knows, please fill us in, because I didn't really go into that.
Panto is amazing, Lorraine. You'd be great in Panto. Thank you, Peter. Stacey Lane Matthews did a tour with the Adult Panto Company a couple years ago. Oh, that's great. Good for Stacey Lane Matthews. Lawrence's look was classic early Drag Race, is what somebody's saying. I actually underwhelmed by all of the final four. Amber says she was underwhelmed by all of them. You get fairy godmothers in Panto, but it's a different character to the Dame. Panto is Drag Kings 2. They usually play the Prince Charming character. Okay, interesting. The final runways were meh. Another person says that they were meh. Pink Drag Race look, race earlier outfit. Oh, okay, yeah. So Lawrence's was inspired by Rue's pink Drag Race look. So yeah, okay. I just wanted. Vivian. Oh, that's right. Vivian does the fashion photo review with Raja for Drag Race UK. Raven only does the US versions. So Raja's doing it with Vivian. So that's where she ripped her apart. Thank you, Chucky Chuck, for sharing that. So yeah, so thank you guys in the chat room. You guys are so helpful. What would we do without you? All right, so those are the final four. Now, was there anybody from the returning queens, because they got to do the runway as well, which thank you, Drag Race, for continuing this.
Yeah.
Making this like a thing every year now, because I think it's absolutely fantastic that they do it. Anybody from the returning that you were like, yes?
Ahura.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. I loved it. I loved how, like, I don't know what Sister was going for, but I love that she just had an axe, and like the editors were making fun, like not making fun of, but like they were playing into it. And like she was in character too. Joe Black.
Yeah.
Spectacular. I know a lot of people didn't. I loved Estina. Estina was beautiful. I know a lot of people didn't like Veronica's superhero. It was like a play on Sailor V. Veronica. I loved it.
I liked it.
I think a lot of people didn't understand that it's Sailor Moon. It's a play on a character known as Sailor V, which Veronica Green. She changed the colors to Veronica Green. I loved it. And I liked it was also like, she was like in her post, she was like commenting how she's like superhero combating like COVID-19. So I don't think that this was like, I'm just defending her. I feel the need. I don't think it was like this would have been her finale look.
I agree.
But because, one, you're not even like she's coming back. I just know she's coming back. One, she's not gonna like, she's probably saving that finale look for when she comes back.
Exactly.
So of course she's gonna change it. She's not gonna like, but it was fun. It was nice. And I love that it was like kind of like a cosplay meets superhero fighting combat, like wear your masks. And it was cute.
I loved it. I thought it was appropriate for her return.
She just looked happy, and I was so happy that she was back and she's healthy, and it was really, really nice to see her.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. I also liked Tia. I thought she looked amazing. I do think Tia could benefit for some hip pads. I think even a small hip pad, she just needs a little poof there. I get it. Not all women have hips. You know, you can say whatever you want to me. I am old school drag. I am tits and hips to the day I die. And I just need a little bit of a hip on Tia. But I thought she looked amazing. And the other person I thought looked amazing was RuPaul. With that orange round hair and the gold necklace. Was just, I literally was like, I think I gasped. I think I gasped when they lit her up on the stage. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No?
No.
Really?
No.
I loved it. I loved it. I love that choker too. Look, I thought it was great. Hold on, let me look what's going on here. Joe Black had the best look of the night by far. Okay, Peter in the chat says that. Vinegar Red Taste for Filth on the gay after show on Facebook, and Taste responded on Twitter. Okay,
gotcha.
So we can go there to find that out. Veronica said she didn't want to use any of her good looks, and I don't blame her.
There you go. I don't blame her either. She's saving those for next season.
Yeah, completely. Tia looked the best she ever looked. I agree, Amber. I think me and Amber have agreed on almost everything in the chat. Sister during this blue face, like Ahura. Oh, Ahura did the COVID.
But sister came in with a blue face.
Right. And the purse to match.
And I love it was a play. I think Ahura was a play, like kind of like, you know how like sister was accused of stealing from Ahura. So Ahura, I think she kind of like put that on to kind of like, it was like a play on that whole event, I feel like.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think of that. And if somebody in the chat understand, like, I want to know the story behind Sister's blue ring. Like, I'm guessing this is something she does all the time. If there's a reason for it, if you guys know, please put that in the chat room, because you will absolutely make my day, and you'll make this season even better for me. All right, so we already kind of talked about the lip sync for the crown, but just to give you more details, they lip sync to, it was Ellie got eliminated. She had Bimini, Lawrence, and Tay step forward. She eliminated Ellie, and then the three remaining queens lip synced to "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John. And I actually thought Lawrence did the best. You know, I always say this on the US version. I want them to lip sync like they would genuinely be lip syncing that song. And like when Bimini started doing the Russian kicks, I was like, really, girl? Like, I get it. You know how to do that. It just didn't seem to fit the song for me. Taste, I guess, for the first time, kind of drifted into the background for me. What did you think of their performance, their lip sync?
If I'm being honest, I didn't really care for this lip sync just because I'm like, really? This song?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, there's nothing wrong with having like a male artist song. I don't care about that. But for the finale, come on. The gays and girls want like Spice Girls. Like, give us a fucking UK song that we are going to like lip sync along, sing along to the freaking finale. We don't want Elton John. Sorry, girl. But like, come on. I was very underwhelmed. And I think like, not to take away from anyone's performance, but it just made me as a viewer like, really?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, it's, I was so angry about like a freaking Elton John song, but
I mean,
it was just, it was, and that, I feel like that just made it a very like underwhelming experience watching it. I only watched it once, so I don't really have much to say because I wasn't that excited. Everyone did okay, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I just wasn't that excited after such an amazing season. We're having a bountiful amount of great lip syncs. Yeah.
Again, I think it's just because I'm just, and I don't know, this might be good, this might be bad. I'm just stuck in what drag has always been to me. So you know, like I said, tits and hips, yes. This doing songs that men are singing has become a trend. I'm noticing more and more as well. And I feel like on Drag Race UK, maybe it's because in the UK they do it, because I feel like UK had a lot of songs for Lip Sync for Your Life that were men singing, because they did Wham and stuff before. I
think it's not even the men thing for me. It's just like, give us a bop, like a real like showstopper, something that we're gonna actually hear at a club, you know, like it's been so long. So of course we really want to, like, being at an actual drag show, being at an actual club, nightclub. So we want something that we all just can jam to.
Well, somebody in the chat is Eric says Elton is the UK. That's all capital letters. So, and I get that. Like, you know, we're reviewing a show from America,
right?
So we're putting our American opinions. You know, this is why people don't like us. Not me and Ollie, but Americans in general.
This is my theory. The finale song was a Rita Ora song, and she didn't show up. They took. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that could be.
But like, I get it. I completely get it. I'm an American. I don't know anything about UK, so I totally get it.
Yeah. So that was that. There were some mirror moments that kind of happened as well. Taste and Lawrence had kind of a bonding over not having boyfriends and feeling a little insecure. I think everybody, I don't know, maybe I was surprised that Taste was saying this.
Yeah, like it just goes to show, like, it doesn't really matter what you look like and like Lawrence and Taste, they're at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like their body types. And it just goes to show, like, it doesn't matter what you look like, you can still go through the similar things, similar mental things, similar obstacles. And I'm glad that they were able to bond on that, because I think that was like the first time they actually kind of like could relate to one another. And it's a really sad story, you know, like Taste had, you know, going through that with that one gentleman who left like a lasting impression, 2 lasting impressions. Like, people go through that, you know. I've personally gone through a similar experience. So I definitely like related to Taste on that aspect. And Lawrence, you know, it's hard. It's hard, especially with going through the pandemic and, you know, feeling alone and that you're not worthy of love, you know, because you didn't have like a proper relationship, you know. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what you look like. We all go through that similar stories. And it was a really beautiful moment, I thought.
Yeah. I actually have I won't tell it now, but I have a really funny, my first experience story is actually very hysterical. It wasn't hysterical at the time. It's hysterical now.
That's good that's good that you can like make it into something funny, you know?
Yeah. Oh, completely. At the time I was petrified. Like I was like, I'm being punished from God, but
I cannot even imagine you saying that.
Maybe if I get on 15, I can do it in my stand-up. So I'll talk about my first. I have a couple really funny experiences. I actually have an experience that I actually made a part of my stand-up. It's actually really funny. All right. So also they also got letters from home from their moms, which I thought was really, really sweet. What did you think of that part?
It was, especially since a lot of them, I remember in this special, they weren't able to see their families. I know Taste was one of them. I was thinking about Ohora too. She's not even in here, but like it's beautiful. And I know Lawrence went through like a really hard time, you know, because Lawrence's flatmate was also a drag queen, if I remember correctly. And so like to have that outside, you know, support from your family, your loved ones was really nice.
Yeah.
Because obviously they don't get like video messages like the US versions.
Right. Chucky Chuck says, sister broke up with her boyfriend and the first drag look was a face with a blue circle around her mouth. So I guess that's maybe her signature thing. Okay. Just curious if I got to sit down with her, that would probably be my first question, is explain the blue circle to her. Inquiring minds want to know. Also, I thought the moments with that Final Four meeting with Michelle and Ru was really nice. I always like those moments. We learned that Tace's dad played bass for Wham, which I thought was really, really interesting. That's the group that George Michael was originally in, for the youngins out there who don't know what Wham is. And also too, you know, this was something that Tace said that I felt like I could really relate to, and maybe you too. You know, he talked about how accepting his family was, and like there's times where I do kind of feel bad because I feel so lucky that I wasn't ostracized, that people didn't kick me out of the house, that that my family, whether they were happy and, you know what I mean? Like it definitely took some time for them to be okay and comfortable having certain conversations. But I just feel so lucky to have had the amazing family and friends that I've had. I feel like you have too. It was something that I really related to when he talked about that.
Yeah.
And then this I also thought was interesting when Ru mentioned to Tace about the details in her drag. And she said, how does it make you feel that you keep getting critiqued about the details? And she said something along the lines of, she always puts the details on, she feels like she always puts the details on the back burner because for her, it's just about being in drag. And that was something that I feel like I also could relate to too. Because I do feel like a lot of times for me, especially when I'm doing comedy shows and stuff where I'm not necessarily in a drag show, I'm the only one there in drag. So it don't matter what I look like, they're gonna love it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like sometimes I do feel like, again, you get caught in a routine, you get around people who are always telling you look great, whether you do or whether you don't.
Yeah.
It was just something I thought was really interesting.
Well, I thought it's a really important conversation too, because I think Drag Race, I love the show. We wouldn't be here sitting and talking about it, but obviously it creates for like this being under this critical lens. These drag performers have to be like, you're looking at the details, whereas like when we're in the clubs, we're watching a drag show at Mickey's, at Flame and Saddles, RIP and WeHo, we're not like looking at those details. So like, of course Tace isn't focusing on the details all the time,
Yeah.
Like we know that this is a drag performer and we're going to just tip her. We're going to scream. We're going to yell. We're going to be like, yes, queen, because she's going to be performing the house down.
Yeah.
So like, we're not, I get that conversation. It's an important conversation. And sometimes you just have to appreciate the performance and them just being there to entertain you. But obviously this is a reality television show and we have to critique these queens. And it's hard with drag performers kind of having to like up the ante because of something like Drag Race. Everyone's looks are just so extravagant now. And so I like the idea from Tace, less is more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 1,000. It's something that's what I always say is, again, I feel like a message to everybody, anybody who goes to drag shows, anybody who watches Drag Race. I feel like if you're watching All Stars, yes, let's be critical. Let's be like, no, this is not appropriate for All Stars. I feel like if you're going to be on the first of a season of Drag Race, I don't necessarily think that it has to be polished, rhinestoned, perfect. I feel like we always end up liking the ones that aren't. Evie Oddly, Jinx Monsoon, Sharon Needles, like we gravitate towards these people because I think that you just see some of yourself in them and you just see like the human. They don't seem like this weird, I don't know. It's hard. There was something in here I was going to read. And now I'm trying to find it. Oh, yes. just back to the letters real quick, that they each read it for each other. I thought was really nice. Like that they were like Tayce read Bimini or Lawrence's and stuff like that. Like I thought that was a really cute touch. Thank you for reminding me that. Let's see. I'm looking through my notes of the Tic Tacs made an appearance again with Michelle and Rue. Also too when Lauren said she would not move to London, that she wants to stay in Scotland, stay in Glasgow, which I think is great. I know a lot of queens, Nina West in particular. I know her. She's like, no, Columbus is my home. This is where I always want to be. If you want me, you fly me. I'll do whatever, but this is home. So I love that she said that. And then Bimini also talked about the reason why she felt like she did so well coming back from COVID. It was a special day for her. She had lost a best friend, and it was the 9-year anniversary of her passing. And so it kind of motivated her to do better. So
I kind of, that was beautiful. And I kind of wanted to know more about that story and that friend, but obviously maybe that she didn't want to share it, or maybe they just took it out. That was really special that she was able to do that for her friend.
The other thing I thought was really interesting, what I actually really liked, and I actually would love if they did this every season again, when they were getting ready for the final runway, they were all talking about their first impressions coming into the workroom. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I actually really enjoyed hearing what they all thought of each other when they first saw each other.
Who was it? I think someone said like when they saw Tayce, I'm like, uh-oh, it's on. Someone said that. I think it might have been Ellie. It was like saw Tayce and was
Ellie
like, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Competition's on. Yeah. And again, always the messages to their younger self, which was done on the runway. I really, truly feel like Lawrence's, for the first time, felt like a message to her younger self. Like, you're going to do this, but you don't need to. Like, I felt like I always feel like it's always just them kind of talking about bad things that have happened to them. Like, I want to actually hear the advice. Like what you want to tell your younger self. So I felt like Lawrence really did a good job saying,
Mm-hmm.
And even when they are asked why they should be America's Next Drag Superstar too. Lawrence, I thought, again, gave a really great answer. She said she doesn't, she may not be the best dancer or have the best costume, but she really makes connections and being escapism for people. Like, I just felt like it was a really good and like honest response.
Mm-hmm.
Any of them stand out for you?
I'm just like, can we get on with this? Can we just, Rue, who is the winner? Gosh darn it. Fuck.
I mean, you got to have these tender moments.
Well, I think like for me, like, I think they all had a reason to be there. Tayce, Bimini, and Lawrence. But like, yeah, obviously I was team Bimini personally. Yeah. But I'm happy Lawrence won because Bimini for All Stars.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy. I'm so happy for Lawrence. Lawrence was someone who came in like I was like, Lawrence is gonna be in the top. Lawrence is gonna go so freaking far. I already know. Lawrence is someone I think a lot of people knew before even getting on the Drag Race. But yeah, I really just loved Bimini, and obviously I love Tayce. Bimini, I loved her story of like throughout the competition coming in, kind of being this someone who was overlooked and being in the bottom the first week. And I didn't really see Bimini as a competitor. I loved her entrance look, but then her performance. And then that, I remember, I'll never forget her runway where she was popping the balloons and it didn't work out. But then she came back full throttle from the break. And also before that, I loved her conversation with Jenny. And I think this was an important conversation for people that are only that are not only non-binary, but just the queer community in general. It's not up to anyone to tell you who you are. It's no one's opinion matters other than yourself about you. And
Absolutely.
that was when I was like, that was episode 4 or 3.
Yeah.
And that's when I just like fell in love with Bimini. And I'm so happy she did amazing. And it was just an amazing season overall. You know, it was just, it's bittersweet that it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it totally was. I guess we didn't officially say it, but Lawrence Chaney was officially crowned the winner of Drag Race UK season 2. And I will say this, and somebody did say this in the chat room earlier. I really, truly, like you were saying about the non-binary conversations being had, I truly believe they needed to have a plus size winner. I do feel like the plus size queens are overlooked a lot, are made fun of, just because I think people are just used to making fun of big people. And I think I think to have somebody like Lawrence, who is so put together, who's so smart, who's so funny, who's so talented, like, I just really think that it will make a difference for other plus size queens and plus size people in the world, you know, like, just to have, I don't know. I was so happy. As much as I loved Bimini, I truly felt in my heart of hearts, Lawrence deserved the win. My opinion. So.
I'm happy she won. I'm happy she won. Like, it was kind of like a win-win situation, you know?
Yeah. If you guys have questions, you know, something that we didn't talk about that you want us to talk about, or something you want to ask us, put it in the chat room now. We're getting towards the end. I just want to go through, I have some quotes of the week, quotes of the season, I guess. Well, you know, used to be the week, but I picked out a couple of things that popped out of the last 3 episodes that I thought were really funny. I also do have some fans of the week too. We'll start with, let's see, who is this? Oh, it's when Tez was doing her stand-up, and she goes, "Oh, that's a story for another time." And then Bimini says, "Tez, babe, I think you better tell the story now, because I don't think you're going to get another time."
That was good.
I laughed a lot. Alan Carr said something. Oh, he said something like, "I want to go to the next show, because the next show is going to be the one that's got all the funny stuff in it." I loved, it might be one of my all-time favorite exit quotes, "Ahura, in a world full of hoes, be Ahura." I thought was absolutely brilliant and genius. I think we have to give a shout out to Tez and her bow. I loved it every time she did it. I don't do it nearly as well as she does. I will admit that right now. But yeah, my eyes watering now. And then the other one I thought was really funny was in the finale when they were rehearsing and Lauren said, "I'm fattered. I'm fat and shattered." So those were some of my wrap-up quotes of the week. Fans of the week. I decided to give fans of the week this week to the 3 fans that put us at 300 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you, Patrick O'Donnell, Mikey Leguello, and our 300th subscriber, my old roommate, Todd Music. I love you already, but now I love you even more because you gave me my dream. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, because now I'm going to have a goal of 400, especially when I start getting close. All right, some news and gossip. We talked about this yesterday. There is now talk of a versus All-Stars. So US versus UK versus Holland versus Canada, where they're taking girls from each of those seasons and putting them together. All for it. What do you think, Ollie?
I'm very excited. I still need to watch Holland. I haven't watched Holland, to be perfectly honest. I wonder if they should put someone from Thailand on there, I would think. I know maybe if anyone, I don't know if anyone's like can speak English,
I think that some of them do, but not all of
Yeah.
them. I think that's the only issue with Thailand is the language barrier.
Gotcha. But yeah, I loved Canada. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see Canada meet the UK.
Yeah.
Another queen from the US. I would love to see. I think this was a good pick. I would love to see like Nikki Doll on there representing France.
Yeah.
It super excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Raven has a new show coming out. It will be online. It's a makeup competition to find America's next makeup artist. If you are interested, if you're hearing this or you know somebody that might be interested, they can go to worldofwonder.com/makeup casting to apply. I will have the link. That link for that is in the description of this video as well. Also linked in this video is Tez, who is our co-host for Drag Race TV. He interviewed Tamisha Iman from season 13. A link to his video is in there. Also a link to my interview with Karen from Finance, who is going to be on Down Under, Drag Race Down Under. And that was it's actually a short little interview I did with her at DragCon in 2019, where I talked about her name and stuff like that. She was a hoot. She was so much fun. Ollie, do you have any news or anything that you wanted to share with anybody?
No. Unfortunately, no.
Simple. And then one last thing, next week, next Sunday, March 29th, we will be recapping the 12th episode, the Nice Girls Roast. And we will be being joined, so it'll be Ollie, Jackie, Jayla, Tez, Lorayne Love, and Nina West will be joining us on the discussion board. So you guys want to be there. We have definitely put digital ads out, so please like and share those. Share them, actually. I don't even care if you don't like them. Just share them. Get people to pop it into your story so people see it. There will be a link to our Drag Race TV LA page so they can subscribe and get notifications, know when we go live, all that stuff. So please spread the word. We would love to have a full house for Nina. That would be amazing. Let me just poke my head in here before we go, Ollie, and see if anyone's asking us anything that we need to answer. Every time Lawrence created a look, she showed that you can be big and freaking amazing. Agree, Chucky Chuck. Agree. Did you hear that?
I love Amber. She said, speaking of plus size queens, yesterday I saw Eureka at the drive-in drag and they came up to me and talked to me and told me how fierce I looked. Sort of a small brag on my part, but that's amazing.
That's great.
I'm glad she got to go to the drive-in drag.
Oh, Amber, you're a local gal. That's good to know. All right. I'll make sure to let you know when Lorayne Love's at the drive. They didn't ask me to perform at the drive-thru. I did go to Long Beach on Saturday and I saw the show there. It was Morgan Delta, Tammy Brown, who I adore. I can never get enough of Tammy Brown. Honey Davenport and Joey J were all in the show. So yes, support the shows, especially the local queens. I'm not saying definitely not saying don't support the Drag Race girls, because you're going to do that no matter what. But please don't ever forget that there are local girls in there who want to get on Drag Race and want you to get to know them better and want you to see what they do. And it really does help them if you guys don't just get up and go get drinks when they go and perform, but you also give them as much love and as much energy and as much money as you give the other girls. So I guess that's it. There was no other thing. Check out other, Ollie has his own channel. I have my own channel. Tez has his own channel. I've linked all those into the Drag Race TV channel down on our page. So if you want to subscribe to everybody's, you can do that. You can see other content. Ollie does other recaps for...
Huh? Not often. Not often. I do random stuff. Not as often as this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, those are linked in there. Our social medias are in the description as well. If you have trouble finding us, I put it all in there so you guys can find it easily. Ollie, I want a prediction from you. Will season 3 UK be better, worse, or just as good as season 2?
Gosh, it's going to be really hard to live up to this season. You know, it's going to be really difficult, but it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
They're not, I don't think they'll have like the break clearly. But it's going to be a great season. If we had this great of a season with a panorama involved, like I can't even imagine how great season 3 is going to be.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm assuming Veronica is going to be on there too. So at least we know one of them. And I look forward to it. And I hope we'll be able to do a recap every week of it. So, because this season was, thank you, World of Wonder, VH1, not VH1 because it's not on VH1. Whoever had a hand in the creation, casting, and show running of Drag Race UK Season 2. On behalf of Ollie, our panel at Drag Race TV, of everybody who watches our show, thank you, thank you, thank you. We needed this Season 2. It was amazing. I loved every moment of it. And hope you guys enjoyed your quick little recap with me and Ollie.
It was so good. It's bittersweet that it's over. No,
I know.
Come back. Come back.
So Ollie, tell everybody where they can find you on the social medias if they want to stalk you.
If you guys want to stalk me, follow me at Ollie Dreamer.
Yes. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorayne Love. That's LORAYNE LOVE. You can also, please, if you can, follow DRTV LA on Instagram and Twitter as well. Again, that's where we post all of our upcoming information and stuff. So the best way to know is to follow, like, and share as well. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the live today. Thank you, Ollie, for doing this with me. I appreciate it. It would have been obnoxious for me to sit here and talk to myself.
Well, you're not going to get Mark, and like I told you, you can get Mark, but you don't want to talk to Mark about Drag Race.
Absolutely useless to me. Absolutely useless to me. All right, everybody. Thank you again. Love you. And until we meet again, well, we'll see you next Sunday.
Very true. Very true. For a really great episode.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.